Hi, I'm Dave Horler, and I am the art lead here at Paradox Tinto. When I started, it was basically just me and Johan working on the game, and I was the only artist working on the game. So we talked a lot about what we want the game to be and what it should look like and feel like in the early days. And from that, we built a sort of a plan of what we need to do. And from that point on was like, okay, now we know we need to hire this many 2D artists, this many illustrators, this many 3D character artists, for example.
Hello, I'm Corominas, you can call me Roger, and I'm content designer for Europa Universalis 5 at Paradox Tinto. Basically, my job was twofold. For once, when I started, the map was not painted, was not there. So basically one part of it is creating the map, putting all the locations in, all the countries and everything. And once that is done, then the content designer has to create all the script for all the events, all the reforms, all the privilege, everything that affects the mechanics from a script perspective. The first step is gather maps, gather a lot of maps, ideally from the specific year that we have our game, 1337. Obviously, that's not always possible, especially in certain areas. But in the areas that we have the info that's fortunately well documented, like Europe and such, or Asia, certain parts of Asia, we first gather all the maps. We were working with geographical reference data, with GIS. So we basically make correlation of all the cities or where they are located and basically put points. Okay, here's this city, here's this other city. And from there, we start like creating the borders of the locations and then the provinces, always trying to follow historical provinces when possible and growing bigger from there.
The core goal that we based everything on was we wanted to make the best grand strategy game ever. We wanted it to be deeper than anything we've done before. We wanted to have more features than anything done before. We wanted to release with more content than everything we've done before. And so basically everything we do has been around that sort of mantra. The intention is to make the ultimate grand strategy game. That's what we've been saying from the beginning. So because in Europa Universalis 5, we have nearly 10 times as many locations as EU4 had provinces, we really want to show that detail through in the art. And so that includes things like the cities evolve over time and look different in different regions. The armies have multiple soldiers in, all representing the culture they're from. The characters in the game all have different portraits that represent who they are and their background. In Paradox, we're always really switched on to what the fans want anyway. But with this game, we started out basing our original design on a Twitter questionnaire that Johan put out years ago. And from that point on, we've been engaging with the community in lots of different ways. We've done a lot of user research sessions over the years on everything from the art style to the way combat works, to gather as much information as we can from players. What do they want out of the game? What are they expecting? What do they dislike about these sorts of games, and how can we improve on that? In Tinto, everybody that we've hired has been hired to make Europa Universalis 5. And that includes hiring fans from the community and even modders who've worked on some excellent mods. That's really important to us since the beginning, to sort of make this feel like a game for the fans, for the community.
I was a fan of Paradox games before becoming an employer. So my experience is I enjoy playing the games. So now I'm making the games and I want to make the games that I enjoy playing. Expectations are uber high. They are not high, they are uber high. And obviously EU4 has quite a solid stance right now. It's been developed for many, many years. It has had a lot of DLCs, lots of expansions, a lot of extra mechanics put it in. So obviously it's difficult to keep those expectations like on the same level, but we are aiming to create a game that's not just a copy of EU4, but that adapts everything that works in EU4 and makes it better and improves it.
At the first glance at like the core of the EU5 development, we had like some features that felt like, oh yeah, we had a road system similar to Imperator, we had a character that a little bit like Crusader Kings had one, we had a military system like EU4, we had like economy things like Victoria. We had like one aspect of the market system, and then we iterated upon it and realized we need to have stockpiles for the goods for them to work. Then we needed another few months and realize, okay, we cannot have like fixed size markets. They need to be grow and dynamic depending on how you're building. So all of these things, like it's been constantly evolving, not just from the feedback from the community, but also from lots of internal playtesting and talking.
The main character of Europa Universalis is the map, of course. So we've been really, really working hard to get it as historically correct as we can, as geographically correct as we can. And even though we have all our sources and our excellent content designers, it's best to get the feedback directly from the fans of what they're expecting to see. Or maybe they have some hidden pieces of knowledge about a specific part of the world that we might have missed. So with Tinto Maps, we've been able to gather feedback on the map as well. For us, the feeling of historical authenticity is really important to a game like EU5. And so we have to do a lot of research, not just for the sort of content you get, but also for the art. So for example, which hat should a Catholic bishop wear in this year? Well, we've got to go find out that information. We've got to be careful with what we're looking at, because a lot of sources might be from different years or even different cultures or religions. And we have to also find the interesting things. There's a lot of history that isn't very interesting. And it's like, which part will make an exciting game? So when we're doing the historical research for the map, Wikipedia is not enough. We've got to go more in depth with historical maps or even accounts of what was going on at the time. The geography changes a lot as well. Just because something is a certain climate today, well, there's been climate change over the hundreds of years since the start of Caesar. And we need to represent that how it was then, not how it is now. There's also things like deforestation or swamps being drained. Even coastlines of entire countries have changed in some cases. The map has seasonal changes that you can see. This includes things like lakes freezing over for your armies to traverse, or maybe a harbor freezes and you can't get your navy out. You also have this situation in, say, a mountain pass. Maybe that's blocked in the winter because the snow has fallen too heavily.
We do a lot of historical research. Obviously, most of it comes from the internet. We try to search on not only English, but as many languages as possible. Fortunately, we can handle quite a bit of languages in our team. So there's no language barrier in that case, in that sense. And in the case of languages that nobody speaks in our team, fortunately, we live in a day that we have like automatic translation, which is not perfect, but serves us to at least get the entry point on something that we can research for further. Besides the obvious internet, we also take a look at scientific historical journals, publications, and books. Like, we read as much as we can and anything we can to get as much info as possible.
One of our goals with this game was to make it look better than any other grand strategy game we've made before. We have obviously this wonderful living world with changing climates and changing cities. We also wanted some of that human connection that was missing from Europa Universalis 4. Now your advisors are real characters, your king is a real character. So you'll be able to see your ruler as he ages, and when he joins the army as a general, he'll be wearing his armor. And you'll also notice that his kids and grandkids still look quite a lot like him.
So why does EU5 start in 1337? There's multiple reasons for that. It's a nice, interesting new start that makes for a new experience for players. But 1337 is also before the Black Death. It's before the 100 Years' War start, and Europe is in a completely different situation. That's one major aspect. And also 1337, if I add 500 years, you end up in 1836. And what game is in 1836? You get a natural progression from your game straight into a Victoria game. We're not just taking feedback from what people are posting on the forums or on Reddit about the Tinto Talks and Tinto Maps. There's also all these videos and podcasts about what we're doing. And since I'm walking to the office back and forth every day, I think I try to listen to pretty much everything I can find on YouTube and podcasts. So I listen to pretty much everything, and I know a lot of my team does as well.